entirely possible. But
Just type in TIA.
Okay,
TIA.
I don't know what you did to my thing, but you broke it. I need some more time. But anyways, Errantsquire is in game now, or at least
yeah,
on the stream.
he is. Yeah, he is.
Why would you not run TNOst?
No, there's not a lot of diamond at the tournament, which we'll get into later. Errantsquire on his 5-minute delay, firing up his first game against Fierock. It's a pretty good round to see starting off. They're giving good lucks, have funs to each other. Again, Errantsquire, for those of you that weren't watching earlier, is playing an aggressive Ruby Wild deck. We haven't seen anything from Fierock today, but he is running one of the more popular champions at the tournament, Lionel Flynn. Kind of surprising to see so many Lionel Flynns. Not normally a constructed viable champion.
I've seen a lot of Flynns today, and not a single boulder toss has come across my face.
Which is good for you. You played 2 or 3 games before you dropped?
4 rounds.
Four. Okay. Still not many.
Well, half.
So Shard of Savagery comes out from Errantsquire. He's choosing Ruby here. Looking at his hand, I'm not sure why. But he chooses Ruby there, and such is the wheel of things. More Stormcloud sleeves from Fierock here. Probably we should get a statistics of everybody's sleeves, so you should make sure they include that next time. Tien.
Got it. Sleeve statistics.
Yeah. Sleeve statistics. An interesting draw from Errantsquire. Are we doing a card guard or not?
I do have the card guard up.
Okay, so I will.
Well, he's on 5-minute delay, right?
He's
yes.
on like an 8-minute delay. I think you could probably take it off, but for the sake of consistency, we'll leave it on. So the second Shard of Savagery goes down. This time, Errantsquire chooses Wild, his secondary Shard. His opponent throws down Jags, the Blade Master, on turn 3. Maybe a mono Ruby here. That's like the last thing you really want to see from your opponent on turn 3 ever. Just generally under the premise that like it means something big is coming, and if it's on turn 3 in this format, like you don't have a lot of answers aside from say Crackling Bolt.
And if I was Errant right now, it'd be far worse for me to see like a Prince Taliesin at this point.
Yeah,
because he got no blockers, and if he had removal, he would have used it on the Jags.
Yeah. He did tunnel a troop, so chances are he had something. This Stink Troll presents a problem, though, because that Stink Troll is, of course, a 3 or higher cost troop, so it is getting inspired by the Jags to deal double damage. So Errantsquire will take 6 damage this turn, and then that Stink Troll will swing and has the possibility of dealing 6. A second Stink Troll here probably spells like a really quick end to Errantsquire's run.
Yeah, the double troll combo has been really good today.
Yeah, the double troll combo did do some work earlier. As far as damage goes, Errantsquire is, of course, running Deer, so for 4 charges he can he can heal 5 of that health. Pretty big deal in the long run. Pretty big deal in an aggressive matchup to get 5 to 10 health back during a game. Jags might cut through that like any number of butter or margarine.
Back to the butter again, I see.
Yeah. I got told off for making food references in a different chat, so I'm going to make a couple more. So Fierock just passes away the turn there. Doesn't even swing with the Stink Troll. The Master Moss must instill the sense of fear and dread here.
Well, if he'd have swung with the Stink Troll, he would have blocked with Master Moss, and then he would have had to block the muscling with Jag, so probably the right play.
Yeah, in the long run, it's not it wasn't incorrect, but not playing anything on turn 4 on turn 5, sorry, after an explosive turn 3, turn 4 is a little bit sad for him. He just takes some Master Moss damage to the face, and another Master Moss comes down. At this point, Errantsquire is holding on to a pretty explosive hand because he's got 2 Master Moss on the field, which is always terrifying. That Scrap Tech Brawler that's tunneled is going to pop up, and it's going to pop up well before the 5-minute delay catches up, so I'll say that with no remorse. And those extra resources mean he could play just about anything in the game in the Ruby and Wild thresholds here. In fact, I don't think there's anything that he couldn't just play hard from his hand. Well, I suppose a Fist of Bring It On. There you go. I found it. But if he played a Fist of Bring It On, he would be disqualified anyway. So it looks like Fierock is considering his turns here. Crackling Bolt. Wow, is this going to be a double Crackling Bolt on... No? Huh. Crackling Bolt on the Wrathwood Master Moss swings with his Jags that he's given Crush with the Stink Troll. Errantsquire chooses to take the damage going from 22 to 18. And now the second Crackling Bolt comes out, which kills the Wrathwood Master Moss, but returns to the field the Wrathwood Master Mossling. And then he uses his charge power on the Stink Troll.
Yeah, that seems a bit odd because he's going to end up getting the
Well, I guess
Master Moss back, right?
I think his plan was to just never have to worry about... Like, he wanted to make the backswing so scary that Errantsquire couldn't attack. But that's not going to be the case with the Scrap Tech Brawler popping up, giving enough resources to Errantsquire to then be able to play the 7-cost double Wild Threshold Arborian Rootfather socketed with the Prime Ruby of Destruction and the other, the Speed Gem.
Speed, yep.
Yeah, this is it was like the Gem of Speed.
You're trying not to say that other word.
No, I knew which one it was. It's just it's a lame name.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, it's one of those ones that's like, oh, okay. There's the Diamond of Life and there's the Ruby of Ferocity. So with that quick play, that's too much damage for Fierock to deal with. Errantsquire picks up game 1 fairly easily, I have to say there. Looked a little dodgy with that Stink Troll coming down, but there was no follow-up. So the reserves are heading down. Lot of Ruby in the Diamond Cup. I think people showed up early for the Ruby Cup, to be honest. What is the most played card in any deck?
I'm not answering that
You're not answering that?
because I already know.
You already.
I know.
Well, no, I'm asking you. I'm asking
Clearly,
you.
the most played card in any deck is Ruby Shard.
That's probably true.
I think Crackling Bolt.
Yep. By a phenomenal landslide, most people showed up to this tournament with a Crackling Bolt in their hand. Without going into exact numbers, the next closest thing is just another card that goes into a Crackling Bolt deck, and then the next closest thing to that is half as much. There are half as many of those. So see, your thing fixed itself. Now I'm just going to mess around with these cards again until they break again. I have no idea what I did to break your spreadsheet, though. I'm just bad. Oh, we should go over between rounds here. We should go over some of these top 10 lists that I see you've set up because that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Putting in work early so I don't have to do it later.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. Well, it's just stuff that you like. Some of this stuff is kind of weird to go over early. So it looks like Game 2 is firing up. Are we going to see as quick of a game? These two decks look really fast. Like Jags into Stink Troll and Master Moss into Ultra Ruborian. So are we going to see that quick game?
Yep.
Yep. JJ?
Yeah,
What are
I
your
think
thoughts?
so too. Yeah, I think it's going to be another fast one here.
I think it's going to be fast from the other side, though.
It could be.
That's interesting, because
Wow.
the Killblade comes down.
That's a decidedly unfast card.
It is. It is.
It's
But
a very defensive 1/1 for 1 with lethal. Any damage it deals will kill the troop that it's dealing with.
Would definitely explain a lot from the last game, though, since we only saw Ruby cards in Game 1, right?
Yes. So it's entirely possible that he was stuck off of his blood resource last game, which might explain a lot. Oh, I don't know if it explains a whole lot, but he matches
he
up
might be
his...
running Ritualists and the like.
Yeah. And Ritualist with Lionel Flynn seems pretty decent. I wonder if we're going to see... I didn't check to see how many of them are in the decks, but I wonder how many ballistics trainings we'll see. Wow! That's something I actually didn't expect at all. Gem Snatchers with what has to be unblockable Rage 1, and it is. So a 1/1 for 2, unblockable Rage 1. It's kind of like a miniature Cut Blood, but with slightly less taxing threshold requirements. It does need to get a second Ruby online to make the Gem Snatchers unblockable, but that probably won't be out of the realm of playability here. That was a weird play. No, it wasn't. He played the shard this turn. Okay. For some reason, I thought Errantsquire chose not to play a shard this turn, and I guess I'm just going crazy. It's been a couple of hours now. Yeah, he played a shard to play Constantina. A Constantina which immediately is met to the face with a crackling bolt. Although, that's also interesting because it looks like Fierock's not going to play a shard this turn at all. So, 4 cards in hand, none of them shards, versus Errantsquire with 2 shards already in play and an Immortal Tears on the board already.
Yeah, this game is changing a lot. It looks like Fierock is aggro into removal spells.
Which?
Putting on some pretty good pressure.
Sorry?
With the
Sorry. Into removal.
removal actions.
Okay, sorry. I thought that's what you meant. Do we... Man... Why do you think Fierock chose not to change the unblockable gem in his Gem Snatchers?
I mean, the only Ruby card he saw was Scrap Tech, right?
Yeah, but he saw Ruby Shards and a Ruby Troop. Like, you think that would be enough of a reason to at least reserves out the Gem Snatchers?
Okay, but if you either reserve it out or would you replace the gem? Or just leave it as is?
You could do either. Because changing gems between rounds is, of course, legal.
Or you can leave as is, and most of the things that it would be traded for would probably be of equal value.
I guess. I mean...
Is it legal?
Yeah, it is legal to change gems between rounds. Why wouldn't it be?
It's not in Constructed, I didn't think.
Oh, no, we're basing that purely off of a confirmed fact. They have said that is going to be legal in actual Hex tournaments. So it will be legal for ours. It was just before the last HexTCG Open they announced that, so HexTCG changed their rules regarding to it or something like that. Or heck, maybe we did it for the Blood Cup. It was one of those. but it was a very recent-ish thing. So Errantsquire, with 4 resources, not playing down a troop here, played...
Scrap tech.
Did he play that scrap tech and then not follow it up?
Yeah.
I guess the plan here is to... Yeah, he is going to use the boulder toss from his hand to stop the gem snatchers from getting any more damage through. He will take the 1 damage from the kill blade. He did gain 5 health back from that charge power of his, almost negating the work those gem snatchers have done. Putting him a little closer back into the game, I think it's worth noting one of the troops in Errantsquire's hands has a really bad interaction with the board if he doesn't make this trade here, and I'm glad he did. For his sake. Oh, it's back. The kill blade's back. It's an interesting thought process. We are on the 5-minute delay, so just in case you didn't know, I'm almost 100% sure Succulent Cluckodon is not a May effect, is it?
No, it's not May effect.
Yeah, so if that comes down, his Cluckodon will be forced to battle the 1-cost kill blade and thus die.
Yeah, that stung me in a draft when I brought it down against a war. What's the war guy? The little 1/1 human that gets +1 for every other human you have.
Queensguard.
No. The ruby guy that just gets
He's
+1
talking
for
about-
The Wounded Warrior Hero.
Wounded war hero, yeah.
He's talking about
Brought
I spaced
Cluckodon
out. I
down
heard
against that.
+1, and I was like, oh. Yeah, your Cluckodon can lose a tiny bit of value, but those cases seem very extreme. You know what I mean? Like, the amount of times where you're going to be sad. I'm not sure. I guess. I'm not sure that I wouldn't have blocked there. I guess Errantsquire is afraid of, say, blocking and then getting crackling bolted, but that seems like a decent exchange for his Wrathwood. As it stands, it's a little bit of a weird situation. Charge Hulk coming down from Fierock. He's got 8 charges to put onto something on the board. Oh, here comes the Cluckodon. It looks like Errantsquire forgot. He has got to do that.
You saw the look on his face as well. It's like,
Oh, yeah. My favorite, for those of you that don't watch Errantsquire that much or just don't get a chance to hang around him, he's the kind of guy that's going to take that in good stride. He probably realized the mistake. Like, you saw he kind of smiled. He was like, oh, damn. Reading it off to his chat right there. Succulent Cluckodon has to trade with that Killblade there. Not really what he was looking for. Gotta watch for that wording, guys. The most important word on an effect is usually the word may or the lack thereof may.
Yeah, to the person who was doing post-it notes earlier, that's another one you want to add to it.
Oh, it was Crackling Rotted. Yeah, that's correct. Zurban's correct. Yeah, that's why I didn't block with the Wrathwood. For some reason, I thought the Wrathwood had just been -1/-1. All right, Cyrus, you have a great night. Thank you for coming around. See you guys tomorrow, as always. So it looks like Aaron's not going to swing in against this Charge Hulk. He does oh, this is opponent's turn. That would explain why he's not going to swing in. It's a really good reason not to. Cool. Like, turn and look at chat, I come back, and I'm just like, I'm totally lost. So,
I mean, you've seen the card a billion times, right? And it still seems like it should just be a 4/4.
Yeah.
5/5.
Like, that's what I mean, right? Like, that's why I made that mistake earlier. I figured it was just -1/-1. I was about to say the reason that he's holding on to the Wrathwood is because he was hoping to draw Philcape. And here comes Philcape just on time, which is unusual because what I hear is that Philcape is one of the most late of all Cryptozoic employees. Never on time, has been written up several times for that, in fact. Please
It's
verify.
pretty good considering the Jags as well. Like, Jags Inspire just means nothing now.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's on, like, a speed, or, yeah, I don't know. Like, it would have to be insane, right? Like, it would have to be a speed flight troop, and that doesn't exist here. Charge Hulk no longer able to swing in. Jags looking kind of ineffectual, but still, I guess Fierock still wants to go at it. This kind of signals, at the very least, a Crackling Bolt or a Crackling Rot,
Probably
possibly
Crackling
both.
Rot.
Could
I
be
think-
could be Adrenaline Rush just as easily, and
I
those
think
things.
blocking with Phil Cape is a mistake here.
I agree. He's not really he's not really being punished for health at this point, and his opponent is there's the Crackling Bolt to get rid of the Phil Cape, and he can't play Crackling Rot now. I don't know. He still comes out pretty far ahead, holding on to a Wrathwood Master Moss. It wasn't what I agree with, but he's still in a really good spot here.
That play does end up making it a 3-for-1.
Well, yeah, but Hypnotist we would know was coming, guys. Come on here. Oh, a Speed Outlaw. Yeah. There you go. Unblockable Speed Outlaw.
There's also like Fury, right? The big orc with the double socket.
It would be Fury of the Mountain God. Haven't seen a whole lot of Fury of the Mountain God, which is actually a troop I expected to see more of at the Diamond Cup. Another Jags of Blade Master comes down, not necessarily a threat at this point. Still holding on to his charge power. On his back leg, still 2 cards in hand. Fierock passes the turn, and Errantsquire will get to draw back up to 2. And here comes the swing. And Jags is just going to let this through. Now that Phil Cape is off the board, I guess Fierock is less concerned. You know what would be actually really bad here would be, for Errantsquire, a Fire Soul Wizard actually would be able to do quite a bit of work in this situation. Elite Pyromancer is not the troop I was thinking of here. Even with that charge power on it, it's not quite there. I guess what this is forcing Errantsquire to do again is to play a little more defensively, because if he swings with that Master Moss, there's a very real chance that he loses next turn. That Elite Pyromancer is capable with 1 shard of dealing 18 damage on its own.
Yeah, that's true.
So Errantsquire has to keep his Master Moss back here, if I had to guess. Oh no.
He's gone. He's going in.
He's thinking about it. He's like, let's do this. All right, there it goes. I think he
thinks he's buffed it so he can block it, but...
Yeah, that's not the case. He didn't need to buff it to block it. It was not the case. I think he's looking at it now like, whoops. It would take a block here, right? Like, it would take a shard or an Adrenaline Rush or a Crackling Vortex will do it. That's game.
Leaving that Moss back and Adrenaline Rushing...
It would have been a blowout like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
Might have Bolt in hand. I mean, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't need it. There were like 30 cards that were win conditions there. Yeah, guys, he doesn't need a Boulder Toss or anything like that. Jags has inspired that Elite Pyromancer, so that is 18 damage from the Elite Pyromancer, and 3 more damage from the Jags. That's all it took. That's all she wrote. It was a strange play, but everybody makes mistakes. If I had to guess, Errantsquire just chose to throw out. Oh, Errantsquire's Boulder Toss. That's not a Boulder Toss. That's that was an Adrenaline Rush.
They can't see the hand.
They can't see it. That's...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
They didn't know that.
Well, guys, no. Whoops. I was just like, what are you guys talking about? That didn't even look close to a Boulder Shot. Yeah. So for those of us, we were pretty concerned. We were pretty convinced that it was like that. Intentional draws will be allowed. Is it possible to ID into top 8? Yeah. My showcasting was suboptimal. I'm sorry. He could have had Boulder Toss for the final 5 damage. That's what you guys thought. You guys are all correct. I'm crazy. I forgot you couldn't see the hand.
We should have got Errantsquire in here and just told him how to make all those plays.
Don't. Oh man.
Start a game 3 here with the Shard of Savagery for the Wild.
Just playing this one for fun, right? Aaron is 2-0 now, right?
What? No. Alright, this is the 1-1 game.
Oh, yes, of course. For some reason, I was like, there's no way Aaron could lose that game. He's got Adrenaline Rush in his hand.
Yeah. It is not the case. So, with the Blood Shard down, the Wild Shard down, turn 2 begins. This time we see a Blood Shard. Oh, man.
And I just have to say, this is why people don't shoutcast for, what is it, 8 hours? 9 hours straight?
That's not the excuse. The excuse is that the last time I was watching it with the card guard actually up on my screen to remind me, but you're the one streaming it this time, so I was just like, whatever. Allowing IDs is a bad idea. I agree. I don't like doing it, but we have no way to prevent it. I really wish there was an alternative.
So we have Killblade facing off against Warrior of Andronicus here.
Did Aaron take out the Cluckadons, or did he just go with the deck as it was? I feel like after last time he should have maybe taken out the Cluckadons.
I'm not sure if he did, to be honest. Fierock just attacks in for 1 with the Killblade, and plays another Killblade to follow it up.
Yeah, those Killblades, early defenders to the Persuasion of Aggression.
So here, Errantsquire plays the Shard, gains some life.
Health.
No,
Oh my god. Wow. Pedantic Pentachills.
Yeah. Only for JJ though. Like if anyone else had said that one, I'd have been like, well, that one's like really far edge case. But no, it is actually in fact health in HexTCG. I know, mind blowing. So, wow, that's a bold play. Crackling Bolt removes one of the Killblades, and Errantsquire swings in with his Warrior of Andronicus for the 5/5 here. I guess he just wants to get as much value out of it as possible. Maybe after using his charge power there, he wants to put Fierock on the back foot, because there's been a couple of times in these games where that double damage from Jags has forced Errantsquire onto his back foot. In fact, won the last game. So that might be the case here. Still no Jags on the board, just Killblades from Fierock so far. Stink Troll does, again, post a pretty interesting power with Killblade, because like we were talking about quite a bit earlier, anything with the Crush and Lethal will deal 1 point of damage to each of its blockers, and then still push damage over to the enemy champion if any is left. Yeah, there are a lot of issues with Challenge, guys, and we will manually deal with most of them. But like Zubrin is saying in chat, it is actually a terrible program, and at the end of the day, it's the best we got. Yeah. So the Wrathwood Master Moss comes down. This troop, not as good at dealing with things as, say, just like flat out removal, but it will stop the Killblade from getting through. And barring some sort of removal, can actually block the Killblade and then swing next turn if it needs to. Did I say Zubring? Oh no, Kind Mime said Zubring.
Is that like an evolved form of Zubrin? Like
Yeah.
Pokemon Stage 1, Stage 2?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those are the ones. So Errantsquire is starting up his turn here, looking to probably throw cards at the table now that he has card advantage until his opponent concedes. Chooses to hard play a Scrap Tech Brawler from his hand, a 2/2 for 3, which will give him back 3 resources immediately. Chooses to do that pre-combat, and if I was playing against him and I saw this, Errantsquire has been playing most of his cards in main 2. I would have to assume at this point that he did that for a reason. Refreshing his resources from that it kind of makes you think he's got the trick, you know what I mean? And yeah, uses the Adrenaline Rush on his Wrathwood Master Moss to prevent the Killblade from dealing with it effectively. But with 5 resources open, and wow, Fierock uses Boulder Toss to toss 1 point of damage from the Killblade onto the Wrathwood Master Moss, which... Whoa! What? That
doesn't make
work.
any sense.
That shouldn't work that way.
No, that's how
I mean,
works.
it does. It literally changes nothing, but that's crazy that it works that way.
No,
I mean, it would target it does target things that go to the grave. Yeah, I mean, it's just for those of us who are used to totally different things that there are still some times where Hex makes you go, wait, what?
Yeah.
It was a very poisonous rock. What can we say?
No, not the Boulder Toss. The Boulder Toss killing it was fine. The Adrenaline Rush still applied to the Wrathwood Master.
Well, yeah, because it's still the same target, and once it had come back out, that's when the Adrenaline Rush resolved. So
yeah,
you target the card.
I think it would have resolved. Yeah, I think it would have resolved even in the grave, though. It wouldn't have mattered in the grave, and we'd have been like, oh, whatever. But when it actually comes back to the board, we're like, oh.
I don't believe it would resolve in the grave, though.
I think it would. I think I've seen things like you... Well, no, like, I'm serious. I think I've seen things like where you play a Preservation on a troop, and then your opponent responds with Crackling Rot, it goes to the grave, but then the Preservation still goes off. It's weird.
So, he's got a thing in his hand that you can't see that's really interesting. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, he does. There's stuff going on here. It's not this card that you're talking about, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that card. I mean, that card can... he's targeting now. It could
choosing
turn
not
his,
to use... Yeah.
his
Wrathwood Master Mossling back into a Wrathwood Master Moss, and it looks like he's going to choose not to do that here.
That's what I thought his plan was like the whole time. I thought he was going to use this Boulder Toss to turn his Mossling back into a Master Moss.
But instead, he's choosing the Boulder Toss onto... Wow! And in response to the Boulder Toss, the Crackling Rock comes out. So the Boulder Toss never goes through, and the Killblade will trade with the Warrior of Andronicus as opposed to just...
Well, he actually chose the wrong target for the Crackling Rot, so...
Well, yeah, he did. He sure did.
Bit of a punt there.
Whoops. Wow. A lot of stuff happening in this game that's blowing my mind. So maybe it's fatigue setting in. Maybe it's Maybelline. Oh my! There's a Dargon. The 5/5 Zakir comes down onto the field for 6 cost at the beginning of Fierock's turn. That will create a power of Zakir card. All 5 of those are insane, and 2 of them, I think, change this game into unwinnable. Does Errantsquire have an answer for this? He kind of does, actually, but he doesn't draw what he needs to play it. He puts down Constantina instead. Constantina will stop his troops from being exhausted, so if a new Power of Zakir card comes out that makes cards exhaust themselves, that's relevant, but there is no such thing as that. So Errantsquire still has a lot of health here to recover.
I don't think he can. He's got 1 card in hand, and
I think he'd have to be exceptionally lucky to get back from this. Zakir is insanely powerful, and that is not one of the ones that totally blows him out of the water here. That actually probably isn't that bad, right? That's the Fire Servant, a speed swift strike 4/1 that when it leaves play will deal 4 damage to a champion or troop.
I mean, this guy, I like when he dies, like, you get to most probably kill a troop. You have to double block to kill it, and then once it dies, you just kill another troop. I think I would have preferred to see the charge power on Zakir there.
Zakir, or yeah, I guess his thought process is like, no matter what happens, if Errantsquire has something to remove something, he's going to remove Zakir. So it's probably safer to put it onto either the Stink Troll or wait, what? I don't know if I agree with that, but okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, the Stink Troll puts Flush on Zakir to get an extra point of damage there. If he had put it onto the Warrior of Andronicus, I guess it would have been a little safer from other things, but in my mind, the Warrior would have then been able to just cripple most things on Errantsquire's board. He only has 10 defense total, you know. That is not the top deck that Errantsquire was looking for. Another Warrior of Andronicus is actually quite ineffectual on this board. Had he drawn a Ruby resource, he would be able to play the Zakir in his hand, spoiler warning, and then it would have just been a matter of possibly Fierock drawing a poor Power of Zakir and then Errantsquire drawing a better Power of Zakir card. It looks like Errantsquire is going to swing in here. Is he going to swing with 4 troops and only leave 1 blocker behind? No, he's not.
Constantina's got the Steadfast, right?
Constantina does have Steadfast, so it would have been fine, yeah.
So you still have
It would have been fine unless, of course, the Stink Troll blocked it, in which case another Servant would win. I think at this point, I think all of the Power of Zakir cards are actually lethal. Like, I don't think there's a Power of Zakir card that doesn't just win the game, especially with this Crackling Rock coming out. But let's see. You never know what comes down here. The Eye of Zakir merely draws 3 cards and deals 3 damage, so that's...
Merely.
How much does that one... I'm pretty sure that one's 2 cost. I mean, that's 2 resources. Here comes Zakir and the Warrior. No way to win without putting a block up here. And the Power of Zakir, the Glimpse of Insanity comes out, which is fair. No reason not to. He might as well have tried swinging before playing that. The Glimpse of Insanity, of course, voids all non-dragon troops. And now that the Warrior has left play, it will deal its 4 damage. And at this point, the Boulder Toss is enough. Wow, the Shard into Boulder Toss. So that's Errantsquire getting kind of a punch in the face at the end of that. He was doing really good Errantsquire saying in chat, rough game. He hopes Errant wins. Yeah, it was a rough game. It looks like that Zakir came out and leveled the board.